You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds. Nerds!
Hello, everybody. We returned. It's Peacemaker Day. I almost said Vigilante Day, and we'll get into that because I think they made up for the lack of screen time for Vigilante. I think they made up for that in this one. But again, just watched it again for the second time. I'm completely in love with this series, and it's different than what we've kind of seen. You already seen Earth X is a major factor in this entire scene. The setting is a major factor in this series. And like I said it last episode, it was very risky of James Gunn to go this direction. Apparently, he did speak to the actress who plays Adebayo to see how she felt about the episode, being that she was one of the main points of what was gonna kind of unfold in this episode, which was crazy. And we discussed what happened, and we were left with the cliffhanger of Harcourt ordering Argus agents to arrest Harcourt, arrest herself. That woman is not me. Arrest her. So we start off there. We're in Argus, and Chris makes the decision. So listen, this is what I'm doing. He's seeing it in Harcourt's eyes. Okay, look, she came all the way over here for me. This is what he was so blinded. And the episode, the name of the episode 6, Ignorance is Chris, is so fitting because he was so oblivious to what was going on around him because his dad was alive. His brother, who he killed as a kid, was alive, and everything was great. They were well off. It was just perfect for him. Like he said, best universe ever. So it was tough for him to see. And Harcourt points out obvious red flags. Oh, there's a copy of Mein Kampf on every desk. And look, there's a. I did laugh at that because I was like, yo, how obvious is that? On every desk. It's like a Bible being in every hotel room.
I'm laughing because he said to her, I don't even read books.
Yeah, I wouldn't be this buff if I looked at books. That's what he said. And then and she goes, what about the mural of freaking Hitler on the wall?
Did you hear that they were actually going to put Hitler mustaches on everybody, but they find that a little too cheesy?
I heard something about that. Was it everybody? I heard something about that. But
the guy's going to have the mustache, the Hitler mustaches, but James Gunn took it out. He thought that was way too cheesy, so he just took it out. But yeah, that would have been funny too.
So and then the Hitler mural, and so it to me that just kind of said, wow, this shows how distracted he was about Harcourt pointing out there's no people of color here. Mein Kampf and a mural to this guy is just insane. It's so, and then the flag we saw last episode, just crazy to see that type of stuff. But again, like that's why I said it was kind of risky. But he did go that route. He did discuss with Adebayo before before the episode, just so he wanted to make sure she was okay with it. Just goes to show the respect he has for the people he works with. And Booba, yeah, he decides to makes a decision to break up with Harcourt in the Earth X right there in the spot.
Oh my God.
And then go ahead.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you the whole escape scene. I found it pretty cheesy. The way it kind of was filmed, I found it kind of cheesy as he's mushing people out the way and Harcourt is fighting again. It looked like something out of CW for me in that sense, that nature. Funny, but it didn't have its thing. But no, listen, it's awesome to see. But the fact that Peacemaker, I think in the first season, always wanted a backpack, and he actually got to use it to escape, but it was horribly used. I thought they were dead. But them exiting was pretty cool. Listen, it all goes back to the beginning of this, right? Let's talk about just the beginning of the show. And I didn't realize this until I heard James Gunn speaking about it. But the beginning of the show, when he's doing this, and that, that's actually the sign for the what's it called? The Nazi sign. What's it called?
The swastika. Is
it's
that
the swastika.
confirmed? Is that confirmed? Really?
Yeah. So then again, the whole conspiracy with Fortnite, if you're paying attention on social media, but from that scene to where the two vigilantes are explaining on each side of what happened, they were like, what? Hitler won World War II? Oh, come on. That right there, I can't say it enough, Pete. You're absolutely 100% right. Vigilante has become, over these last few episodes, because he has more screen time, he's probably the most loved character of it all. But that whole scene is crazy to think what the world would look like if the Nazis won versus the group that I forget what they're called now. Forgive my history lessons here, but even when they're escaping and she's holding him and she's putting her head on his back with the motorcycle, the Nazi police are chasing them, I guess, in a sense. I found it a little bit too cheesy. And I know that they were just kind of going with the rock song that was playing, but I found that to be a little cheesy for me, for my taste in this sense of the world, especially unlike Harcourt, who is not a sentimental person at all in the regular DC universe. So it was off-putting for me, but I did laugh.
She switched up. Again, we'll find out. I'm sure we'll find out in the next episode what caused that flip, that switch to flip for her. She did make the decision to go back to get him, and something may have clicked that it kind of like maybe pushed her over there to the other side of the fence she was kind of riding on. But we'll see next episode. That's the season finale.
We got one more.
Yeah, I know. We got one more. So my prediction last episode was that Judo Master was going to save Economos. But Judo Master saved Adebayo.
Whoa.
So he kind of like slipped through the cracks in last episode because we didn't see him. But remember, he did follow him through. So he was on Earth X and saved Adebayo. But go ahead, Fuba. Tell me what.
Listen, Adebayo, I gotta give her credit, man. She got some jets on her feet. She was running through those houses, running through the grass. She has that angry Nazi mob chasing after her. I think she said it that in that scene she felt what her ancestors went through. But the fact that Judo Master showed up to save her, and it was not the first time he shot people in the pool.
Oh yeah.
That's the most I've ever shot people in the pool, and he had a 4 max before. That's just crazy to think about that in the sense of what Judo Master is.
he said, "Zippity zap, bitches," and fried them all in the pool.
Yo, his one-liners are just as good as Flurry's.
And the fact that you brought up Vigilante being one of the more popular characters, Judo Master, did a lot himself this series, calling Economos fatty and a fighting Peacemaker in the woods. He's slowly turned into a favorite of mine as well. I mean, not topping Vigilante, because Vigilante is like gold on this show, but
he could do no wrong in my book.
Judo Master did his thing in this episode, and they went to another house to kind of lay low because it was daytime. They had to make it back to the house where they arrived into this universe. So they were kind of laying low and decided to play Scrabble, not Scrabble. Another one of the differences in this world, Cheerios and Cheetos end with OH instead of O, and it's Scrabble instead of Scrabble. But they decided to play. And And just to kind of, like I said, laying low until it's nighttime so they can kind of make it back to where they got in. So you spoke about the escape being cheesy, but the escape led to them being saved by Chris's dad and his brother. And the episode was like a Keith in the Night. Is that what it was? Is that the name of the episode?
It's a play on the words of A Thief in the Night.
In the Night, yeah. So Keith is his brother. We kept referring to him as his brother instead of by name. Keith is his brother. The dad calls him off of when he was chasing out of Bayou, which is probably why he wasn't fried in the pool, because he said, "Get back here now. We got to talk about something." He kind of gave him the update on what was going on when he got back to the house. And they go and they say, "Look, we got to get to him before the cops do," because Economos, like you said, he kind of spilled the beans on what was going on. They kind of needed to clean up the mess. Let's get these people out of. We got to get to them before they do. So they end up because the cops end up catching up to Chris and to Harcourt, and who comes and saves them is them, and we all end up back at the house, and that's where the main I would say the biggest part of the dialogue in the kind of explaining everything happens it's kind of in the kitchen. Economos is there tied up in the chair. Chris and Harcourt are there, and they're trying to like get to the bottom of what's going on. So walk us through that, Pooh, like that scene right there with everybody like in the kitchen.
Well, shout out to Eagly. Eagly's English needs to go to Duolingo because Economos couldn't get him to get him off. And he brings him a piece of string and says, "Open up this fridge for me." But no, so they have to kill these cops because he says it at the end, I think towards the end, that if they find out, if this world X finds out that they have an interdimensional portal, they're in a world of shit. So he has to kill those cops that are there, obviously, and bringing them back to the mansion to kind of get this whole explanation. But man, I gotta tell you that this Auggie, while brutal in a sense, and is a victim of his own community in a sense, I would say, because he wants to do right. And I was shocked, like absolutely shocked, that he was holding back Keith in a sense from killing them. And then on top of that, he kind of wants to let them go.
Yeah.
Even worse, the Peacemaker of this world, that the one that the Peacemaker from the DCU world killed, was a bit of a dick. And and because he was that, his dad is like, the world is a better place without him. And it kind of has the same sentiment in the DCU. And I'll go back to what you said with the whole conversation between Judo Master and Adebayo, how they were like, well, our world mimics a lot of this stuff already, right? In a sense. So that was, again, great dialogue to really say that, Auggie in this sense wanted to let them go was probably the biggest thing for me. Yeah, that was like I was taken back by that. That scene right there is probably the best scene in everything as it transpires through to the end, because we got action, we got real sentiment, we got wow factors. I mean, what Vigilante did, and we'll get into that, but it's great filming in my opinion. And while I found, and I said this before in this episode, I found a lot of things a little cheesier than I wanted to really get through. Man, the filming and the action scenes and the sentiment absolutely delivered in that part of the episode.
I think we all assumed that Auggie was just like the king Nazi here because of how he was in the DC universe, the main universe that Chris comes from. We just assumed that he was, and it turns out he was just kind of, playing the cards that he was dealt. And not that he was a Nazi, but this is the world we live in. And, what am I supposed to do? I control what I can control. I think everybody, even like Harcourt was caught off guard by that because she assumed she called him a Nazi. He was like, "Don't call me that." He got offended, and like you said, he wanted to get everybody together so they can get out. I want to change this pin pad so you guys can never come back. I want to fix this, and that's what he was about. Even though Keith was more. He was enraged because he found out that this Peacemaker killed his brother, and like you said, the dad accepted it because he knew what his son was. Not that he didn't love him, but this guy was a little unhinged, and we saw that as soon as he attacked Chris. Look at Vigilante. I know Vigilante's, his elevator doesn't go all the way up, but when he found himself, that sounds funny. He found himself. They immediately hit it off. They got along, but Peacemaker's got a gun to the back of Chris's head, and when he first walks through. So we saw the type of person he was. We got a little bit of a glimpse into the type of person he was. And look, his father co-signed it. His father confirmed it. He wasn't a great guy. So while we're getting that, we're realizing that wow, this guy is not a bad guy. He's just this is the world he lives in, and he's adapting. While he's giving his speech, and the thing is, this is a question I got for you. So, which vigilante crashes through the window?
If I'm gonna flip I don't know. I have a 50-50 chance here. So
just like out of Bayou.
Yeah. I got a 50-50 chance here. Yeah, that was funny, by the way. Which vigilante from your universe? The one that's talking? I'm going to say it's our vigilante. And the reason why I say that, because no one loves Chris more than Vigilante.
No, I get that. But I didn't think it was him. I thought it was the other one, because think about it. He knows who he is, and he says, yo, I hate that guy. I hate Peacemaker. So
I'm going to lean on Chris. I'm going to lean on our vigilante only because I've seen him to act before he speaks. I know that he knows the relationship between the father and the son because he witnessed it. And, I have to lean on our vigilante. And I think that's the way it is. And that's why Peacemaker towards the end says, it doesn't matter which universe, it's me. So the fact that his father... going back to Red, who killed the eagle that way, Vigilante did the exact same thing, almost identical to Auggie. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So just because we saw it in our DCU universe, it's repetitive in that sense. I'm gonna lean on it. It was our Vigilante. And I don't know if we can confirm this through social media or whatever. James Gunn needs to answer this question. Which vigilante killed Auggie?
That's what I was gonna say. We're gonna take a stab at it, and no pun intended. Gonna take a stab at it, and we're gonna try to tweet a question about which vigilante killed Auggie. I believe it was Earth X vigilante because he already was on that mission. Don't really know if our vigilante knew what was going on, because this guy vigilante from Earth X didn't. I mean, that's what I think it is. They didn't hesitate. They saw what was going on. He jumped in and just got busy. So
no hesitation, zero hesitation.
But let's take it back a couple steps.
Okay.
To when Vigilante 1 and Vigilante 2 meet up with Judo Master and out of Bayou outside the house. Again, Judo Master for me, he's up there. He's up there because he goes, what are you doing?
Yeah, he can hold his own.
He said, what are you doing with him?
Shout out to the actor, by the way. Shout out to the actor that plays Judo Master, yo. It's a dope. I don't remember the banter. All I do is remember laughing my butt off.
Well, he said, why are you doing with this guy? I hate this guy. He goes, why do you hate me? Because I fucked you up? So hilarious. And then he introduces the other vigilante to Adebayo. She can't believe what's going on. But that was right before we get back into the house. And then that was,
and then they said, you want to kill some cops?
Yeah, they were going to kill the cops. And they were, all three of them were for it except for Adebayo. She was like, let's just get into the house, man. We could kind of bypass that. But yeah, that was, again, Judo Master, hilarious, dude.
This definitely was his coming out party.
Yeah, definitely. Even though he's had his moments, this one for me was like, okay, he got to keep him. You got to keep him more involved. And he said, "What does green have to do with karate?" Oh my god! Hilarious.
I still got it.
So back in the house, everything is gone off the rails because Vigilante crashes through the window and kills Auggie. That sets off Keith. He starts busting shots and it's just going on to hell. That causes the cops who were previously trying to get in to go back into the house. You got a shootout going on there. They finally make it to the portal. And this is where Chris Peacemaker had the revelation because they're about to go through the portal, and of course his brother Keith comes through the wall, starts beating on him. The 11th Street kids, they save him, and they stabbed him up too. It's like that's when he realizes he's watching what's going on, and everything that is going on is because he decided to try to fit into this world. If he doesn't come through, none of this happens. And I get it. And at that point, I kind of felt like, damn, man, he's right. It is him. Because, like I just said, if he doesn't come through that portal and try to live this guy's life, it's crazy. But your thoughts, Pooba? I see you're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I'm chomping at the bit here because, again, like I said, the immediately when Auggie is speaking about understanding dimensions, like he said, he saw himself as well. That was really cool as well. But he said the guy was like angry and there was something wrong with him. And, if only Chris had this version of Auggie in his life, right? Things could be different. But even the kindness of what Auggie has and the family that they have, Chris, like you said, ruined it for them. But, the dad getting jabbed in the neck was crazy enough, right? So, but then he sees his brother getting, like, all the 11th Street kids are on top of his brother.
He's getting jumped.
Well, they're killing a guy that looks like his brother, right? Because that's not his brother in a sense. But he can't lose his brother twice. I get it. As a sibling, I get it. I would probably do the exact same thing. It was gut-wrenching. Because you could tell he was like, stop. Okay, so we could say that wrestlers shouldn't be actors, things of that nature. Bro, John Cena delivered the Chris Peacemaker that was remorseful, that I felt for him, man. I felt for Chris, the character that John Cena delivered in the acting. I got to give it credit when I see it, and it looked real. It felt real. It sounded real because you could hear the jabs going in and out. Great to the sound team that did it. It was too brutal, bro. Too brutal. And then to stop it and then have to leave him that way. Because that was what Chris didn't want to leave him that way. But I'll let you talk about closer to the ending because it was what Hardcore tried to do is crazy.
Yeah.
And again, I'll let you come and finish this one off because that was pretty dope. Even the kick at the end by Vigilante to close the door.
It was she was trying to, tie up all the loose ends, and he's a loose end because of we see now that he's enraged. He has a hatred for him, and I don't know if he'll take into account that Chris saved him because he's still alive, even though Hardcore tried to finish him off. Cops came in. She had to go, and she was. I thought she was gonna pull off the ill move and shoot him some John Wick style.
That's what I thought. Same as I was like, oh, bullet through the door before he closed it.
But yeah, Vigilante kind of stopped that by closing the door. I don't think he was saving Keith. I think he was more just making sure they got out. So we'll find out a lot more. Next episode is an hour long. I love this whole series. I'm just completely. I'm sold on it. Like James Gunn did a great job. The writing is great. Everything. We didn't touch on the fact that they did find the portal by going to one of Luthor's
the lead scientist,
Sydney. Yes, the guy with the funny mustache and the thick glasses. He's the one who Luthor directs to help Rick Flag Sr. find the portal with that equipment that they have, where they were kind of doing all of their business out of in the Superman movie, in that hub that they were all in, where Crypto attacks Lex Luthor. They went back there and they were able to locate the portal, which was at Vigilante's house again. So I kind of forgot that's where it was at.
Yeah, I mean, of all the things to forget, right? We get that. That's the one Easter egg that we're dropping at the end because the show at the end was so good. I totally forgot about that as well.
Exactly.
I absolutely forgot about that. And Luthor wants that technology because of the fact that it's superior to his.
Yes, because he did mention that it's stable as opposed to what they were using. It was only a couple minutes at a time. If not, it's unstable. But this one, because again, remember, it's alien technology, it's stable. So we're going to see how that plays into it next episode. They get out the house, and Argus is waiting for them.
Yeah, no, listen. The fact that they all stood and it was like a confrontation, kind of like a Mortal Kombat front to front, Argus versus the 11th Street Kids, which I guess Judo Master is now an 11th Street Kid because he co-signed. They asked him. They said, hey, is this exactly what happened? Because I think Chris said something in nature like they actually came back to come bring me back here.
Yep.
That's what they were doing. Kind of without, he took the bullet. He took the bullet for all of them.
Sword for everybody.
And then Judo Master co-signed it, so now they can't arrest everybody else. I mean, this is definitely at this point implied that I think we're gonna probably have some type of time jump where Keith gets to heal and he becomes the antagonist in this next episode to try to kill Peacemaker, or that's season 3. I don't know. Between the two of that, as we come to the end of this episode, but it's great way they ended it. I didn't like the beginning of this episode, but man, I keep forgetting that it's not an hour long anymore. They've been keeping these episodes kind of short, but they're impactful. There's so much in these 30 minutes. You don't get to close your eyes or rest.
Full plate for these last 2 episodes. 30-minute episodes is a lot thrown on the plate. Look, last episode we got Lex Luthor in a 30-minute episode. They got Lex Luthor in there, but this is just setting up for the finale next week, which is rumor is it's 57 minutes long. I could be wrong on that, but that's what I've seen online so far. I did also see that there are no plans for a season 3 of Peacemaker, so we'll see what happens. But also, what's been said is there's going to be a lot explained in episode 8, which is the finale, leading into Man of Tomorrow, which we still got, that's coming out in 2027. They're filming, I believe they start filming in April of 2026. And we still got Supergirl coming up next year. We have Lanterns coming out next year too. So the way he's tied in Creature Commandos, Superman, and now this together, I'm interested to see what happens in this last episode, how he kind of leads into Supergirl or Lanterns or whatever. He has said that the cameos are going to be there, but he's only interested in cameos if they pertain to the story, not just for the hell of it. So I'm sold. Anything he's going to direct, I'm super confident in what he's doing with the DCU going forward. Can't wait to hear more. Puba, any final thoughts before we go to episode 8?
So Peacemaker may have to kill his brother to finish this off, or if he does that, he may finish himself off because he doesn't feel like he deserves it, being of all the destruction that he's caused around him, from Flag Jr. to his dad to, of course, now his brother. This is a slippery slope we're seeing Peacemaker go through. So I'm in it. I'm like you. I'm interested to see how they end this all. And the last thing I gotta say is, let's go Yanks. Let's go!
Can't wait for I honestly can't wait for next Thursday. Hopefully, like Puba said, the Yankees are still in it. But they should be, because because of scheduling, it should be around game 4 at that time.
This wouldn't be one of our episodes if there isn't a baseball reference, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not a baseball reference right there. But Peacemaker, great episode, great season so far. Can't wait for the finale. For Puba, for myself, we will return.
The worst episode ever.